What's up, guys? It's Mike from TechPB and your Living Legends 7 General. Okay, and let's go through the same spiel. Living Legends 7 takes place May 16th through May 18th, 2014. It is at CPX Sports, which is 45 minutes southwest of Chicago, Illinois, in a town called Joliet. You can go and register on the website livinglegendsofpaintball.com. There's two sides to it. There's the Horde side and the New Empire side. I'm generally the New Empire side. Trying to think what else. Entry, if you pre-register in advance, I believe it's $60 for entry, $15 for air. They bring in an air vendor from the outside. That's why there's a separate charge for air. And cases of paint around $80 on game day. If you buy them ahead of time, you can get a little bit of a discount if you buy them ahead of time. And also you get registered for contests and giveaways if you pre-register as opposed to paying on game day. So if you pre-register, not only do you get to pick your side, you know, Horde or New Empire, you can also get entered into raffles and contests, pre-registration raffles and contests to possibly win prizes as well. So, okay, questions coming in now about paint, okay? Can you bring your own paint? No. Most scenarios, they rely on the paint sales to pay for the cost of putting on the scenario. So no, you cannot bring in your own paint. Also, CPX, if you look at a lot of the pictures of CPX, the buildings always look white. All the especially with the town is called Bedlam, the other side is called Armageddon, where all the Greek ruins are. You notice that it always looks white. Well, the reason why they're able to do that is because they use white paint. Okay, that's their field paint is white paint. So CPX sells a specific brand of Marbleizer, or I'm not sure, I don't think it's Evil, but they sell their own specific house paint, which you must buy when you play the scenario game. It's usually more of like a white or a silver fill. Let's talk about first strike rounds. A lot of people are asking about first strike rounds. It's starting to take off in popularity. I was one of the first people to try first strike rounds at Living Legends 2. I love the technology. It's an amazing round. I would recommend, if you plan on using first strike rounds, to purchase them in advance, okay? There's always rumors that Tiberius Arms is going to be there. I've seen Eric from Tiberius Arms there quite a few times. Sometimes he has paint, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he sells out of it. It's always a nightmare with first strike rounds if you wait until game day to purchase them. So A&S Gear's got them. You can get, they usually have two different types of fill. They've got a silver fill or a blue fill. I would recommend purchasing the silver fill. That way you don't have any issues on the field. Well, that's not silver paint. That's not event paint. So I would always recommend, if you're getting first strike rounds for Living Legends, to get the silver fill and purchase them in advance. It's just going to make life a lot easier. Usually you don't find first strike rounds in the pro shop. Sometimes Eric has them if he's there. It really is hit or miss, and I would not bring all that equipment out to risk, not having first strike rounds. Let's talk about 50 cal. If you don't already know about 50 cal and you don't have your 50 cal gun, just don't even worry about it. I see a lot of people asking about 50 cal. They don't have a 50 cal gun. They don't have the 50 cal loader. They've never used it at their local field. They've never even shot 50 cal, but they're asking about 50 cal. Skip it. If you don't know about it, don't worry about it. But 50 cal, if you got yourself like one of the new the Kingman 50 cal guns, I believe A&S Gear still sells Formula 13 in silver or white fill. That's what I would recommend using. Keep it nice and cool. It'll shoot a little bit better. They still have the Kingman rapid loaders, which is the best loader for the 50 cal. And I would definitely recommend getting it ahead of time to make sure everything fits properly and everything works properly. So that's about it for 50 cal. Now the next question is how much paint should I plan on shooting? Really depends on you. You're facing 1,000 players all weekend long, okay? So you're gonna have your skirmishes or your rumbles. You're gonna be playing in those. Plus, you've got the dinner battle, which is a huge battle, and you've got the final battle, which is another huge battle, and you've got about 6-7 hours of play on Saturday and about 4 or 5 hours of play on Sunday. You're facing a lot of people, so there's going to be a lot of people to shoot out. So it really comes down to you. I would say at a bare minimum, and this is me going off of Cockerpunk's math. Cockerpunk used a pump gun the whole time. Living Legends 4, Living Legends 5, and he still shot 3 cases with a pump gun. So it really is, it's not so much that you're just out there to waste paint. It's just that there's so many people to shoot at. There's so many targets that that you're just going to use a lot of, you're just going to use a lot of paint, I mean, if you played X-ball and it was, 1,000 on 1,000, you would see, I mean, there's a head there, you shoot at it, an arm there, you shoot at it, you see a pack over there, you shoot at it, a hopper there, you shoot at it, multiply that by 1,000, that's literally what it is. It's such a target-rich environment with so many people to shoot out that you're just going to go through a lot of paint. With that being said, the problem is not so much how much paint you're going to shoot, but you want to be, if you're on a budget, the trick is to be as effective as possible with the paint that you shoot, okay? If it takes you a bag of paint to shoot out one person, well, that kind of sucks. If you can reduce that down to say you're taking out one person with every 15 or 20 balls, now you're really getting somewhere. The trick that I've seen, and I've got a couple things here. I've got a Inception Design pump gun. I know a lot of people like using pumps when they're out there. I'm gonna bring out some classic guns here. We've got the Rainmaker, old Brass Eagle Rainmaker. So these are all different types of guns that people go out there and attempt to conserve paint. We got a Bell Cells autococker. We got the old school Smart Parts Auto Mag. You're gonna see a lot of people, they like bringing them out there just because they like using them and like bringing out, like that little retro look. But some people also legitimately use mechanical guns in an effort to conserve paint. And if you really want, if you can't, if you don't really want the trouble of, trying to put, some of these classic guns together, because they usually take a little bit of restoration, the GOG Enemy is an amazing mechanical gun. So it's got a regulator. It sells for like $150, and it's one of the best mechanical guns I've ever seen come out in like the past 10 years. It really is an amazing mechanical gun. It's accurate, it's quiet, and it's light, and it just works. So GOG Enemy is an amazing mechanical gun for the price. Anyway, let's get back onto the point of how to truly conserve your paint. What I see that causes a lot of people to waste a lot of paint is long balling, okay? And not only, this I'm going to speak to players on both sides, on both the New Empire and the Horde. The long ballers at big games are the biggest pain in the ass. Not only are they wasting paint, but most of the time they're shooting out their own players. You saw, if you go and look on YouTube, you're going to find a video of me, and it sucked last year because I had a tweaked knee, opening insertion. I hobble my ass all the way up to the front line. I start moving up. I'm getting myself in a position. 6 rounds to the back of the head from probably 100 feet away. My own teammate shot me out in the opening insertion of Living Legends last year. Now, I understand that dead players don't talk. I was pretty livid. So, yeah, I broke that rule, whatever. But I wasn't talking to the other team. I was talking to my own team about the team killing, because it wasn't just me that got shot out. There's like 6 players around us that got shot out from our own team. So, if you're long balling, the one thing you gotta understand about paintball is if I'm shooting at you and you're shooting at me, we have the same amount of range. So if it's 300 feet in either direction. So if nobody's shooting at you and there's no paint coming at you, you're not gonna be able to hit anybody. You're not really shooting any sort of magical paint unless you're shooting for strike rounds. So the biggest thing I would tell you is conserve your paint and get yourself into a position where you can effectively use what you have, okay? So what you want to do is you're walking up to the firefight. You see the scrimmage line. You hear the guns going off. Everybody's battling, stuff like that. You start getting up into it. A ball rolls by your foot. Now you know you're probably 350 feet away from an opponent, okay? Get up a little bit closer, and now maybe they're bouncing by, okay? Now you know you're about 300 feet away. You get about 250 feet away, paint's going to start hitting the bunker. You get about 200 feet away, it's going to really start hitting the bunker, and it's going to get louder and louder. Now you know you're getting yourself into a position to where you might be able to start making something happen. Now the trick is, that I've learned, is that people are very threat-based when they're playing, okay? So they only shoot at what they perceive to be a threat. If you stay quiet, okay, you get yourself into a bunker, you hear them hitting your bunker, your bunker's getting hit by paint, just sit there for, count to 30, and you're going to see they're going to stop worrying about you. And you're basically just going to effectively disappear on the field because you're not shooting at them, you're not a threat to them, they're going to forget about you. Then what you do is find yourself a bunker at a 45-degree angle that you can get to, okay? You never want to run straight onto your opponent. So look 45 degrees to your left, 45 degrees to your right, and when you see that bunker, dart at an angle and get into it and do the same thing. And sit there and just relax for 30 minutes. You're going to shoot your bunker because they're going to see you move. I mean, you're facing 100 people. They're going to shoot your bunker and hear you move. They're going to see you move. Then you just sit there again for another 30, 45 seconds to a minute. Wait for all the fire to calm down. And once again, look over. 45 degrees to the left, 45 degrees to the right. Let me see what's over there. Okay, I can get to that bunker pretty easy. Just get over and scoot into it. Now you're 100 feet away from the other team, okay? Within 2 or 3 moves. Now you're really close, okay, to the other team. You can definitely do some damage then. So sit tight there for about 30 seconds. Now you can start kind of looking around your bunker. You never want to look out of your bunker twice in the same spot. Okay, if you pop out over here and then you pop out over here, most likely there's going to be a ball waiting for you. So you want to, kind of pop over to one side, kind of pop over to the other side and start to see. Now you're going to really see, you're going to be really close to where the other players are at. Now that's the time, if you're, to come out and start one-balling people. Click, 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 and start popping people left and right. You may take out 4 or 5 people and then get shot out, but that's okay. You took out 4 or 5 people, okay? And you only used maybe 20 or 30 rounds. That's the way to properly conserve paint. Mech guns are fun, but you can still shoot 10 cases in a weekend with a mech gun. So, and if you're longballing, you're not going to take anybody out. So while the mech guns are fun, they really still don't prevent you wasting paint by trying to longball people. So I would definitely recommend to start mentally rehearsing before you get out there. If you want to truly conserve paint, put yourself in a position to where you can take people out with the paint that you're shooting. And that's the way that I typically will move up the field. I'll start moving up to the field where I see the paint starting to come in, get nice and low, look 45 degrees in each direction, dart over there, wait again for 30, 45 seconds, look left, look right, I see a bunker over there, move up, and every time I'm moving up 10 or 15 feet. Moving up 10 or 15 feet on them. And then when I can hear them actually talking, and communicating with each other, now I know I'm within range to start doing some damage. And then that's when you pop out and whoa, you start hitting people. You're going to see people start to scatter because they're looking at everybody that's all over the top of you. They've completely forgotten about you and you're 120 feet away or 100 feet away from them, and you come out and you're going to take out 5 or 6 players easily. If you can sit there and snap shoot, bink, come out the other side, bink, over the top, bink. If you sit there and start snap shooting, you can start plugging them. If anything, I've even seen when you start doing that, they'll retreat, because you're so close to them and you're just popping out with one ball, and all of a sudden, a lot of times the players will start to retreat. And when they retreat, you got to do it all over again. 45 degrees, move, sit tight, move, sit tight. So hopefully that helps you guys conserve paint when you're out there, the people that are on a budget. That might help you a little bit. Instead of sitting in the back and longballing at a 45-degree angle and shooting trees and your own players, promise yourself or mentally rehearse yourself that you're going to continuously try to get yourself in a position to where you're 100, 150 feet away from them, and then unleash what you got on them. You're going to take out a lot more people. You're going to shoot out a lot less paint than you normally would, and you're not going to shoot your own players. Most likely, you're going to get shot by your own players. There's nothing we can do about that. You just go back and bitch them out like I did last year at the opening breakout. So hopefully that helps. Thank you.